As the day progressed, it was time to move back over to the old lake where top angling guide Chris Ponsford was setting his stall out to catch some bream. Despite the hot weather, the breeze had picked up and conditions looked good for the afternoon ahead, and the ponds wasn't about to disappoint.
We're bagging now, Duck, bagging.
Well, we've moved up to the old lake now to join Chris Ponsford, who's catching some bream for us. How's it going, Chris?
Well, they're not going mad, Paul. As you know, it's a pretty hot all day, but we haven't long been out there, and we've had a couple of smaller ones, and we're just sort of feeling our way with it a bit, really.
Yeah, well, it's early afternoon now, and the fishery's open till about 9:30 this time of year, so
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of starting to get a bit of bait going in on a regular basis, isn't it? And it's going to, I think,
No rush
improve.
with bream fishing, is there?
That's it. Often a lot of times, if you catch fish from the off when you're bream fishing, it can spook the shoal before they have a chance to
I
settle.
100% agree with that. Yeah, I think it's one thing. If you catch a fish straight away, it's usually death, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, it can really put them on edge.
Yeah, I mean, my standard tactics generally is to not put the hook length on, and
Right. Yeah.
and if I want a sort of a tightish bed, sort of have maybe 10, 15, 20 chucks with a feeder.
Yeah.
Just to get some bait in the general area I want, but not all on a sixpence either. Sort of.
Yeah,
just
spread out a little.
Yeah, a
bit.
little triangle sort of thing, really.
Yeah, what sort of size of a dining room table? Or
Yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah, that's right. Because the sort of ground bait we're using today is fairly fine. With a few bits in it, some fine bits of fish meal and small pellet and bits of corn and things.
It's actually nice down here because you've got a nice little breeze blowing into this bank here.
Perfect.
It's a really nice, comfortable bit of fishing. Is that why you sort of decided to fish down this thing, Chris?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, give me a windward bank any time of the. It doesn't actually even matter if it's winter for me. I still will fish into the wind if I can, and I think. Fish do follow wind, but there's no doubt about it. I think the undertows that have been created, and I think the wind's been blowing into this direction for a few days.
I think so. It's been fairly stable, the weather, isn't it, for a few days,
and we're in a sort of a high pressure system at the moment. I've got one slightly bigger bait on another one, a slightly bigger hook.
Yeah.
They're not exactly, big carp rigs or anything like that. They are definitely more bream rigs. But, if the fish do move in a bit, I'll probably just go back on the one rod, depending which one.
But it does give you that option, doesn't it, to try different things with two rods, and if one method starts to produce more than the other one, you can learn a lot quicker than if you just fish using the one rod. Try different distances or different baits.
I've got one with a longer tail and a smaller hook, and one with a much shorter tail and a bigger hook.
Yeah.
I do like bream fishing,
You think they're a bit maligned, aren't they, bream? They get a bit of a
they
bit
are.
of a
Okay,
bad
they're
press,
not going to go crazy, but come out for a nice gentle day's sport and catch a few bream and enjoy yourself. Yeah,
I must admit, I love catching bream in rivers as well. I think that's fantastic sport.
Right, not a monster, but it's a nice flat old bream. I'll tell you, it's quite fat actually.
Yeah, that's quite a chunky fish, isn't it?
Yeah. No?
Hooks come out in the net.
Hooks come out already.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, he's a bit tatty after spawning, that is, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, they take a little while to recover, don't they? A few weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
They soon get it back. As bream, they normally sort of spawn on lily pads and all sorts of plant materials, and they do get a bit tatty at times.
Well, just pop him in the net, just put him back, right? Slip him back. There he goes.
Yeah. That one was on the shorter hook length again, wasn't it, that one?
He was, on the shorter small hook.
It's funny, because that perceived wisdom about long hook lengths, I can remember not so many years ago fishing 3 foot hook lengths, really light, small hooks for bream, and really changed. Method feeder really changed it for me, and with that, really catching bream by accident, carp fishing, and on 6-inch hook lengths and stuff like that. Right. And I found, for me personally, that when bream fishing about a foot was about right.
Right, yeah.
16 inches.
I'm going to reload.
Yeah. So was that, what hook bait was that on, Chris? Was that
was
on one of the S
yeah,
pellets?
one of those new S pellets, those strawberry ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
I first found those with the carp, but these new ones, as I say, I quite like the size of them. You know, they're quite a subtle size.
Yeah, an 8 mil is just about right, and it's.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I know the carp boys pick them up on some great big baits, don't they? Really, but you know, we're fishing obviously in the heat of the day, aren't we?
That's it, and it does pay. I mean, whether you're barbel fishing or bream fishing, it pays to scale down quite a bit.
I think so. Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, you can get away with it a bit more dawn and dusk, can't you?
That's true. I've done without glasses. That's pretty good going for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've just been. Well, I'll tell you, I've been sneaking a few S pellets into the feeder as well.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to give them a bit more of a mouthful.
Give them a bit more of a smell too, you know?
Yeah.
Let some of those oils work in. Yeah, I do rate them, they're good.
So you plugged it up with a bit of ground bait on
Put a bit of,
and
I put a bit of ground bait. What I'm going to do, I actually start putting more S pellets into the feeder now. So I put a bit of ground bait in the bottom there.
Yeah.
Right, then just slip a few of the 8 mil ordinary S pellets in there, and I'll just get some ground bait and put it in the top, and then just dip it back in there and squeeze it quite hard both ends.
Because it's quite a dry ground bait.
It's quite a dry mix, and there's a bit of that exploding stuff in there as well.
Yeah. Oh, let's whack it back out.
Yeah,
have a
see
look
if we
at,
can catch another, eh?
Yeah, have a look at your ground bait mix.
Yeah. I know modern methods and using buzzers and drop, you know, indicators and stuff works fine, and you know, you can probably use bigger baits and all the rest of it, but it's not quite the same appeal for me.
No.
And the old traditional words of the Ivan, just sit here quietly waiting for that tip to pull round properly, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, see, he's there. He's just nudging it, isn't he?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Is that a liner?
Do you think then, when you get little knocks like that, it's liners, or are they knocking the feeder? Bit of fish meal ground bait in there and some pellets, and are they nudging it around? And maybe that's one of the reasons why the shorter hook length works, because the bait's close to that feed.
Places like this, probably, you know, you've got quite a lot of fish once they arrive, haven't you?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is liners, and I think, you know, you have got to be quite selective where you throw it, because you don't always want to be in the middle of the shoal, do you?
That's right.
You know,
I much prefer to spread the bait out a bit.
Spread it around and try to pick them off the edge of the shoal, isn't it, really? Which is, well, I think you don't want all your bait in one little tiny area, do you?
No, that's right, yeah.
I think they can come in and woof it down and be gone again.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to twitch that back just about 6 inches.
Right.
Sometimes that bit of movement will just inspire them to take it properly. I think sometimes they look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Eh? Probably a bit like
Just
me, with a McDonald's. I wouldn't look at it for long, though, would I?
Yeah, that's it. So if someone was about to snatch it away from you, you'd grab it quick, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's dead right, yeah. I'd be a bad example, though, Paul, wouldn't I?